Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining Wiser Technologies earnings call for first quarter of 2026. My name is Lubu Yankov, Investor Relations Director at Wiser, and I will be your host. Before we begin, please note that this call is being live streamed on Wiser's YouTube channel and is being recorded. Joining me on the call today are Ivailo Slavov, Wiser Chief Executive Officer, and Svetoslav Nikolov, Wiser Financial Advisor. On today's agenda, they will cover market environment and strategic context, financial results, key achievements, and outlook for 2026, and the call will conclude with Q&A session. With that, let me hand it over to Ivailo.
Good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be here and to report about the recent developments in Wiser in Q1'26. Maybe we can go to slides and just go slide by slide. In the agenda, we have a couple of points we marked. One is the market environment. The second are the financial results of the company, achievements and outlook for 26, and for sure Q&A. And I'm very happy and open to respond to all your questions. Talking about the market environment and the strategic context, we still facing challenging geopolitical times. No one of the real crises was solved during the last quarter. Means that there's still enough uncertainty in the global economies and in the markets where we have the most of our business. However, despite the geopolitical challenges, Wiser is doing well, improving fast, and getting new orders out of all markets we are serving. What we did in Wiser in the last 6 months. First of all, we decided, the leadership of the company, the board of the company, and all people relevant for the management of the company, we decided to follow an AI-first strategy, which has following components. The first is that the role of the Wiser, of someone who is providing solutions to its clients, will be to help all our clients to make, at the best possible way, their own AI journey. And what this means for us is that our strategy is to support the clients in their business modernization with the usage of AI tools, knowledge, skills, and competencies. And then, due to the fact that most of our clients are in regulated industries, in a compliant, secure way, and following the concept of sovereign infrastructure, following the concepts of data protection, following the concepts of governance and compliance, which for sure make us a little bit more unique than most of the providers which are not doing business predominantly in regulated industry as we are doing this. What means that one all for us, that earlier days we was providing solutions following the software need and software requirements of the clients. It was building software for them in the mobile environment, in the web environment, in the core processes. And now on top of it, we are building a strong AI competence. We are reskilling a large portion of our company and our employees to move on to that journey using the most modern tools, instruments in the space. When I'm saying this, I'm talking about Gemini, I'm talking about Claude, I'm talking about OpenAI, and I'm talking about all other Microsoft relevant products and tools. On top of it, we are creating own business scenarios. For example, in the area of investments, in the area of board management, in the area of procurement, in the area of back office, means two types of those. One, on the top line, supporting the clients to gain more business from their clients with the support of AI. And the second, on the efficiency side, building instruments for their back offices and for their sales in order to optimize their SG&A cost, in order to optimize their spendings and the way and the efficiency, how do they do their internal processes. That's in very short. We decided, preparing the call from the next earnings call, we'll start and use the time very briefly in 3 to 5 minutes to showcase one of the projects that we finish. And today I can just report that the area of the most important thing for us was first to identify our own use cases and to start our own program to optimize with AI. And we believe that we will got at least 15 to 20% productivity improvement when we realize our own program with 19 defined use cases, 4 of them large and 15 are then supportive to areas like HR, areas like operations, areas like finance, and for sure our internal IT and infrastructure. So the next thing is how we are doing on the financial side. I mean, it's my pleasure to say that we are back on the profitable growth. Q1 was a very strong quarter for us following the developments in the last year, and we are back on the profitability side. We was able to grow our EBITDA by 26% compared to the same quarter last year, and we are very stable in the development of our business. This is the main message: stability, fundament, baseline. I think from the main topic for us as a leadership team was to bring first the company to the very stable fundament and to the very stable baseline to give us the chance to grow organically as well as unorganically. And Q1 is the first, Q2 will be the second, and H2 will be the third and the fourth quarters in our expectation, which will showcase exactly this development. Thanks to the team, thanks to the excellent work of all people which was involved, we was able to optimize costs, to start the usage of AI in the internal processes on the one hand side, on the other hand side, to start to transform our delivery models to be state-of-the-art, forward-thinking, and strong. And this results also in the numbers. We can say that talking about the development of our revenues, the most important message, which I like to share on this slide that we're showing in all earnings calls so far, the most important message is that we are growing in all our markets. We are going with our strongest clients, and our real aim is we identified something like 500 active, passive clients, active prospects, and so on and so forth, and we are dealing with them and working on them to support them on top of everything what we are doing for them today, to support them also in their AI transformation journey. The EBITDA for Q1 is another sign of the improvement compared to the last quarter, and I think this is the path for the entire year, and we are strongly committed to achieve and overachieve our forecast. As I said, we have 26% EBITDA growth. I would say we will have more than 1,000% EBITDA growth in H1. Means the company is back on profitability, on the sustainable profitability. All the restructuring activities, so most of them are done. And now we have the stable team and the stable fundament for the future growth of our company following the business modernization through AI journey in which we came in. Talking about our balance sheet, I have to share one important message, and this one is that we are getting better on cash. The process in Q1 was slower, the process in Q2 is much faster. We're getting better on cash, and we're going not only on the P&L stability, but also on the balance sheet stability as a company. And I think this is our main job as management team, to make sure for you and for all of us that the company is stable and has the real positive forecast for the future. Even the organic growth with 3% didn't seems very big. I like to report that we had one very, very big project in Middle East, which finished last year, and we was able to overachieve, besides the fact that this project finished, with new business and to grow with 3%, and we keep our forecast that we will have a double-digit organic growth for this year. Saying this, maybe to share one more sentence on that, our pipeline today, it's healthy, solid, and now we have to focus ourselves in the next months to come, especially in the second half of this year, to prepare 27 and to prepare our business modernization through AI journey. Organic revenue growth, the most important thing is for us as a leadership team, for us as a board of the company, for us as the people which are leading the company, we are aiming profitable growth for the entire 2026 and the years to come. And we are definitely on that path, and we keep a commitment and the forecast and the outlook that this will happen in the quarters to come. For Q2 is almost over. I can report everything what we are talking will come. And for H2, we have the orders, we have the needed client attention, and we have to deliver. Talking about the way forward, the strategic acquisitions, we have started 10 months ago the discussions with a potential acquisition target, which from my point of view in our next earnings call, we can report how far we are and we are able to achieve or not to achieve this acquisition, but we are planning at least one new acquisition of the course of 26. Talking about our global expansion, I can just report that we started sales activities in the so-called STAN countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and so on and so forth. And we are discussing intensively with telecom clients from these countries the first projects to come, and we like to support them on their AI transformation journey. This is besides the GCC markets, the European market, and the North American market. And last but not least, this is my last slide for today, which just underline what I said like 10 minutes ago. We delivered. We promised to do optimization, we delivered. In all our books, all restructuring, all the process efficiency activities, and so on and so forth are already in place. We had a very, very intensive 5 months since the beginning of the year, and I think we are much more robust, much more stable, and much better future looking than we were before. That's all about from my side.
Thank you, Ivailo, for the detailed overview. We will now move on to the Q&A session. Please submit your questions in English via the Q&A feature in Google Meet. Raise your hand to ask directly or post your question in YouTube live stream chat. So we are waiting for your questions. Okay, first question from Velizar. Do you think defense segment will grow over proportional for Wiser in the next 2 years?
Thank you for this question. This was the very, very nice question because we had a very big event this morning. And I'd like to introduce the audience Dimitar, who is in the call as well, who is leading our defense practice, because it was our big pleasure today to share with you a very, very huge achievement we did. And I will switch to Dimitar to answer this question.
Thank you, Ivo, and hello, everyone. Thank you also for the question. I think it comes at a time where during Chemus, and regards from Chemus, by the way, from our booth, it comes at a time where at the second day of the event, together with the German ambassador, together with the deputy minister of defense and many other officials, together with Ivo and together with our partners from Rode and Schwarz, I think we're bringing the defense technology cooperation between Germany and Bulgaria on another level. So we try to open a new chapter, which is related to high technology cooperation between the countries, and in particular between Wiser and Rohde & Schwarz. So today we signed a memorandum of cooperation and understanding related to exploring partnership and joint projects related to co-innovation, related to software-defined defense, related to interoperability and integrations, related to signal processing, and so on and so forth. So Rohde & Schwarz is a worldwide leader in their segment, and Wiser is I would say, one of the top examples of the software genius that comes from our country in terms of talent, teams, and experience in AI. So we after, of course, a thorough considerations on both sides, we decide to sign this cooperation agreement, and we are starting to work together on very interesting topics. So that's what I can report from Chemus directly. And back to the question, yes, based on overall experience, based on the new project that we actually managed to win in the European Defense Fund. So what we are working, these are 4 new projects. You might have heard from the news that Wiser is like one of the best performing actually European software companies in our size, and the mid cap in the European Defense Fund, because we are starting new extremely interesting projects related to space and Earth observation, related to digital twins for battleships and so on. So amazing new technologies we are going to be part of and building, and it's not just us. So this is knowledge also for the country, and definitely we are planning to grow that segment, and we're working day and night to actually prove the capabilities of Bulgaria when it comes to software-defined defense. There is a lot to contribute. There is a lot to do, and I believe our software industry has an enormous potential to be one of the top players in Europe, and we're going to do our best to have our fair share part of that contribution. So that's for me.
Thank you, Mitko. It means the short answer is yes. We expect over-proportional growth from the defense business in the next months to come, following all the wins we had and all the new significant achievements we do have. Everything what we are sharing with you now will be in the press today, and you can see it in all relevant sources.
Okay, one more from Velizar. How probable do you think is to execute international acquisition in the next 12 months? In a year?
I like to be bold here. From my point of view, more than 70% probable. I think we're in a good way in the activities we have, in the M&A activities we started. Most of those are already in a mature phase, and some of the decisions will be taken within the next small number of months. I can commit the month, because for sure we have to make due diligence, we have to go into the details. However, I'm speaking in the name of all the leadership and all the board of the company. We are very, very active on that topic, and we need, especially for this business modernization journey through AI, we need the support of companies from the western part of Europe, eventually from North America, from GCC, which are very close to the clients, and which will help us to make it happen.
Thank you. Okay, one more. Are there something new regarding the plans with India and opening office there?
So, short about India and about our offshore capabilities and so on and so forth. What we have had done in the past months, we decided and defined our partnership strategy in different aspects. Technology partnerships, companies that we like to deliver to our clients solutions. Strategic partnerships with the leading companies like AWS, OpenAI, NVIDIA, and some others. And delivery partnerships with companies where we are planning to deliver our solutions to the clients in the respective geographies. In this regard, we had a close cooperation with a big German company from our business and their Indian office. And we have a direct access to resources, made a number of interviews. We have already a database of candidates, which we can use for our projects, especially for the GCC region in the months to come. We have first to decide in our transformation how we are going to combine humans with agents in the AI journey before deciding finally about the delivery location, because the biggest question we have is what will be the price of the tokens? What will be the price of the things that with the infrastructure we have to use in the coming months to provide the solutions to our clients? And there are many unknowns there. Therefore, solid strategic partnership landscape. Spartak, our chief, is running and leading this team, supported by all the guys which are responsible for the different businesses from our side, one hand side. And the other hand side is our program, AI program, where we have to define the way how we will deliver in the future. How many people and how many agents we will need in order to deliver the solutions to the clients in the coming months.
Thank you, Ivo. Next question from Dubrin. Can we see numbers in the next webinar, the drivers behind the EBITDA improvement? It is driven by operational improvements, or there were just higher non-operational items in 2025?
I mean, yes, we can provide one level of detail, more detailed numbers in the next call. Svetlo, let us think about it. Let's discuss how to prepare this in the right way for all the investors to get one level further the information and the numbers. This is to Dubrin's questions, the first thing. The second part of Dubrin's question is a combination of both. What we did over the last 6 months is we left projects which was not contributing with the right contribution margin, and we replaced them with project which has higher contribution margin. On the other hand side, operationally, we're doing one of the things we did is we implemented a ERP system, which is going to help us to automate many of the processes which are driving the SG&A part of the balance sheet and the SG&A part of the P&L, one hand side. And the second, with the AI program, the internal AI program with its 19 use cases, we identify another serious saving which we can make in the expenses by implementing these solutions internally. And this is also things that, as I said before, I will have one slide in the next earnings calls to showcase at least one of those achievements.
Thank you.
It means it's a combination of both.
Okay. Thank you, Ivo. One more question from Velizar. You communicated that German auto companies are a little slower in their spending in the last 2 years. Are there any changes on that front?
Mitko, maybe we can share many things about that. But we had a very, very interesting conversations during the last weeks, and especially now in preparation of the Hemisphere, which is the defense fair, which is taking place in Plovdiv. And what I can explain in short, companies like Rheinmetall, Hensoldt, Diehl, and other big companies in the defense space are focusing more and more on defense and leaving the automotive parts for sale. Companies which are producing cars are thinking very intensively how to support new developments in defense. Means that we have a transition of budgets and reshuffling of budgets between industries in the moment, especially on the German market. Maybe Mitko, you can share something from your perspective as well. And this is something which is in favor of us because we are doing both. And now we are reshuffling and we are doing our focus as well. And this is why we answered the question before that we will over proportional have income and projects in defense compared to what was planned before. But Mitko, you can.
Yes. So there are two elements of that. So far, despite the overall decline of the European automotive, which we see in the last 1-2 years, and which at the end of the day, we have to see how is that going to play, because I'm actually optimistic about the European automotive industry. So we in Europe still produce the best cars on the planet. So from that perspective, with some of the tier ones that we've been partnering from pure automotive players, like for 40 years in that industry. So we started to cooperate with them on certain defense matters, like Ivo mentioned. But even on the pure automotive manner, yes. So in general, there is this decline, but at the end of the day, they need to catch up with all the pressure that comes from China. And this means way more AI, way more intelligence in the vehicles. And actually for us, so far, we're managing to sustain that business. I mean, Wiser is not a 10,000 people company. And I mean, compared to the general demand and needs of that industry, we're fairly small with our share. So that has its, of course, pluses and minuses, but we're sustaining the business, and we're trying actually to be from those who are bringing in a time that really innovation is needed. We try to be from those. So we are extremely active with various topics which are related to automotive that we've learned from the other industries, and we're bringing this to them at the moment. I mean, I hope in the next earnings call, we might have exciting news from the automotive actually part and not just from defense, but I leave that for the next earnings call.
Thank you, Mitko. As there are no further questions, we will now conclude today's presentation. Thank you all once again for your interest in Wiser Technology. See you soon and have a great day.